next guest is taking us to the shores of the Philippines with some beloved Filipino dishes with a vegan twist.
Ooh, you heard that right. So Ria Elshario McEwen is a food writer and an author, and she's here to share some recipes from her latest cookbook, Make It Plant-Based Filipino. Ria, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. So excited to be here.
So here's what I do know. Filipino food and cuisine, very meat heavy. It can often be meat forward, a lot of pork, for example, as well. So why did you decide to turn some of our favorite dishes plant-based?
So it actually first started when I first met my husband, and at the time he was vegetarian and never had Filipino food. And so immediately I was like, we gotta take you to some Filipino restaurants. And then quickly we realized all of the dishes that I wanted him to try, he couldn't eat because they were all meat. And so I just started making them at home, eventually falling in love with the process of making plant-based Filipino food, and that's what brings me here today.
I love
it.
Love that.
So good. So let's talk about the first dish. It is, as Mel mentioned, there's a lot of pork, and so this one is almost exclusively made with pork, my understanding is. So what have you used instead?
So this is my sizzling mushroom and tofu sisig, and as the name suggests, it has mushrooms and tofu. And so what I like to do is toss the mushrooms in potato starch so that when you fry it, it has that crispy texture on the outside but chewy at the same time, which kind of mimics that texture of the pork ears. And then the tofu, on the other hand, I get them nice and crispy, so it's crunchy on the outside but tender on the inside, which mimics the texture of fried pork.
It's so good.
This is, this tastes, honestly, this tastes like my mom's cooking.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Period.com.
Love that.
It is one of my favorites, for sure.
Oh, it's delicious. Okay, so you were talking about pork ears, and you say that this dish has a really interesting history behind it.
Yes. So sisig actually comes from a province called Pampanga. And so the story goes that back in the day, there were a lot of excess meats coming out of commissaries of American military facilities. And so what locals did is they purchased them for really cheap, brought them home, boiled them, and tossed them in this tangy vinegar dressing, creating the earliest version of the sisig that we know today. And so sisig actually comes from a Tagalog old word called sisigan, which is essentially means to make it sour. And so that's why we have all of those flavors in there.
So good.
It is so good. Okay, so let's talk about the next dish. It is adobo, and we know that it is probably, I guess, a mascot almost of Filipino cuisine. So tell us what it is and why do you think that is?
So adobo, I would say, is one of the most popular dishes in the Philippines, if not the most popular. And I think it's because it marries those fundamental flavors that you find in a lot of Filipino dishes. So think sweet, salty, and sour notes, which I like to call personally the trifecta of Filipino cuisine. And so this dish has vinegar, soy sauce, brown sugar, and then lots of garlic, black peppercorns, and bay leaves. So it makes it really complex and aromatic without having to add excess or extra seasonings and spices.
Oh, delicious.
So good. And normally adobo is made with chicken or pork, but you use bok choy. So why bok choy?
So bok choy is something that grows really easily in the Philippines. So you'll find it in a lot of different dishes. But one of the reasons why I used it for this is because I want it to be accessible for people. I want people to know that you can make any vegetable adobo. And so bok choy, I thought, was the perfect vehicle for that. It's really easy to cook. It takes almost no time. So if you are making it at home, definitely keep an eye out because it will cook almost in an instant.
So good.
Oh,
love.
Delicious.
Explosion of flavors. Okay.
I love that.
So we're gonna move on to the.
You want me to say this?
Well, no, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Ginatang kalabasa.
Not bad.
Oh, okay, go for it. What is it called?
Ginataang.
Yes.
Ginataang kalabasa.
Okay,
You
there we
got
go.
it.
Okay, so that is like the Filipino or Tagalog word for coconut or coconut milk?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So ginataan comes from the word gata, which means coconut milk. And so ginataang translates to anything cooked in coconut milk. So if you ever see that on the menu, that's what it means.
Okay, so where does the word calabasa come from?
Calabaza actually comes from the Spanish word for squash, which is also calabaza, but with a C. And that's because the Philippines was actually colonized by Spain for over 300 years in the 1500s. And so we've just inherited a lot of these Spanish-sounding words. And you'll notice even some Filipinos will have Spanish last names as well. And so that's a little Filipino history 101 for you.
This is true. This is true. How did you make this?
So this one, there's a lot of vegetables in here. So I like to prep all of my veggies first. So starting with the squash, because it's the toughest to cook and cut. And so for me, I just like to get that out of the way.
It's really good.
And then moving into the green beans, I just trim the ends by hand. And fun fact, this is actually one of those things that my mom used to assign to me as a kid as something to do in the kitchen. Really? Oh my gosh.
Same.
And it's honestly like so therapeutic now for me. I'm like I can relax and just like trim off all these things. But basically, it just makes it all very nostalgic for me. And so I cook everything in a heavy saucepan or a Dutch oven, cook everything together, pour the coconut milk in, all of the seasonings, let all of that simmer and all of those flavors come together, and just throw in the green beans at the end because they cook really quickly.
Delicious.
So good.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, so last but not least, we have another coconut dish. This is called cassava.
Cassava.
Cassava cake.
Yeah.
Mel has raved about this. Why do you like it?
So cassava cake has that nice and chewy texture. It's actually made, fun fact, from cassava, which is a starchy root vegetable. So this has a lot of coconut in it. There's coconut milk, coconut strings, vegan condensed milk, and it also just comes together really quickly
Hold
in
on
the
tight,
bowl.
Cynthia.
Whoa, it's good.
Nice and chewy.
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
this is my favorite Filipino
Oh my
dessert
gosh.
of all time.
It's one of my
So
favorites too.
all time. So it's chewy, it's gelatinous, so what gives it this texture?
Honestly, it all just comes from the cassava. So there's no starch in this at all, no flour, so it's completely gluten-free.
Do you feel
my
like you're
God.
missing anything without the, like...
No!
No.
That's a great question. I don't feel like you're missing anything. It's not like I'm like, oh, where's the meat? It is absolutely full and flavorful even without it.
So good.
Rhea, this is
amazing.
delicious. Thank you
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Our next guest is the visionary behind Naagan, which is a progressive indigenous dining experience located in Owen Sound.
And drawing from the land and waters around him, he forages local ingredients to craft dishes that offer more than just a meal. They tell a story rooted in culture, place, and season. Today, he's sharing a taste of spring with us. Please welcome Chef Zach Kijig.
Yes, thank you very much.
We're delighted to have you here.
Yes, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And Chef Zach, can we start off with some congratulations? You made the Canada's 100 Best Restaurant list,
Yes,
which is a huge, huge deal.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Well, I was very, very excited to, not only place number 9 on the best new list, but number 92 on the list overall.
Wow.
Being able to put, indigenous cuisine on the map of Canada and be one of the only indigenous representatives at the actual event itself, and then being the only indigenous person on the list, we're hoping to be able to inspire youth going forward and anybody else who wants to do this sort of stuff.
We love
That's
that.
incredible. That's incredible.
Can you tell us, Chef, what is the idea behind Naagan?
So Naagan is a progressive indigenous cuisine. So we showcase things that we forage, we grow ourselves, we source locally, and then just these past 2 years, we've been very, very lucky to be able to start using wild shot game in our cooking.
Oh, wow.
So we showcase that throughout a 12-course tasting menu for 17 guests in our restaurant in Owen Sound.
Wow.
17,
Yes,
what an
ma'am.
intimate
Very,
experience.
very intimate, yeah.
Oh, that's magical. So I think what's especially magical is what I'm seeing here before us. And I think, Mel, I can speak for both of us, we're ready to start tasting.
We are
Yes,
ready.
yes, yes.
Let's go.
Good, good.
So tell us about your first dish, and it's a
So-
traditional take
Yes,
on bannock.
on bannock, yes. So this first dish you see here is something, we call it bikweisgan, or something my grandmother would make. So when I was younger, my grandmother would make this bannock dough for us. She would roll it very, very thin, wrap in hot dogs, deep fry it, and then we would dip in ketchup and mustard. It's delicious. But as we started doing these tasting menus, we wanted to introduce people to this bread. So on the bottom, it's a bannock we make just before guests come. We fry it very quickly. There's some hung yogurt. We smoke some trout. There's a bit of New Brunswick caviar, and then we garnish it with a little bit of herbs that are just popping out of our garden right now.
It is spectacular.
Good
And
job.
every single little component comes through right in this
Yes,
little
yes,
guy.
yes, yes,
It's beautiful.
Yes, good, good, good.
Delicious. What a great start. I understand you also chose to do non-alcoholic pairings
Yes, yes, yes.
on your menu. Now listen, I stopped drinking 3 years ago. I'm very happy about this, but a lot of people didn't stop drinking, and so why did you decide that was the way to go?
Well, I wanted to respect my culture. There's a big stigmatism about indigenous people and alcohol.
Yep.
And being an indigenous man myself and opening up an indigenous restaurant, I didn't want to feed into that stigmatism. So I was very, very fortunate a few years ago to be able to do a stage at Pro Morissette in Jordan there, yeah. And they do a non-alcoholic program there. So I went there specifically to learn, how to make some juices, how to make kombucha, and things like that. Because I feel, alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks should be right up there with alcohol or non-alcoholic drinks, right?
Agreed. Just as creative.
Yeah. Well, we put so much time and effort into this stuff, it needs to be on the same sort of level.
Well, you've brought us a couple to try, so tell us about this first one, which is a tea.
This first one is a tea that we make. We actually make a very strong tea with a bunch of sugar. We set it with a SCOBY. And then later on, we strain it out, and then we've blended in a bit of sea buckthorn.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So wait, is this a type of kombucha or what is this?
It is a type of kombucha. Like normally, because I made this on Thursday, normally we would let this sit for another few days just to get a little bit more carbonation in it. But it's pretty tasty the way it is right now.
Isn't it? This is
good,
gorgeous.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so this would pair with maybe a fish course or something that we would, because it has that high acid, right?
Love it. Let's move on to your second dish, which is made with bison. So why is that your protein of choice?
Over the last few years, I wanted to make a conscious, decision to start using more traditional ingredients that, our people were eating. We weren't eating chickens, we weren't eating pork, we were eating venison, eating deer, and then some in Anishinaabe were eating bison. So we were very lucky to find a bison farm just outside of Owen Sound called Snowy Creek Bison. Yeah. So on the bottom, it's a cracker that's been made with wild mushrooms we forged last year.
It's so pretty. I don't want to eat it, but I will.
There's a ramp emulsion, the bison tartare, and then little herbs that we forge in the garden and out in the woods. Yes, it's good, huh?
This is stunning.
Yes, thank you.
I wish we could share this with everybody. It's so good. Can you just talk to us again quickly about the base? I'm obsessed with mushroom.
The base is these mushrooms over here. So we're lucky that around our area, there's tons of wild mushrooms that grow. So we pick these mushrooms in the peak season, we cut them up and we dehydrate them till they're really, really, kind of hard almost. And then later on this year, we're able to blend them, sift them through a fine sieve, make a cracker, or, we can add it to breads or tarts and things like that, to be able to have an umami kind of flavor.
Oh, it's wonderful, just wonderful.
I don't even know how you can get better than this, but we are going to end with a birch dessert.
Birch dessert.
So let's first talk about this gorgeous presentation.
Yeah, so with this dessert, we wanted,
Wow.
So,
Waterfall.
Yeah. So with this dessert, we really wanted you to feel like you were out in the woods, early in the morning, foraging mushrooms in the fog almost.
Yeah. Sorry.
So this is it? This is it? Okay.
So on the bottom,
Tell us about it.
it's a sort of a tart that's been made with chaga. On top is a cremu that's been made with something called rabbit tobacco. We have a praline. And then we have a little bit of wild flowers that are growing out in the wild right now that we just foraged.
This is spectacular.
Yes, thank you.
A quick question here. Rabbit tobacco?
Yes.
It's not what I think it is.
No. It's not the tobacco.
No, rabbit smokes.
So this is something that we were able to get. You dehydrate it, but if you smell it, it almost has a slight vanilla smell to it.
Oh, wow, smells like caramel too.
Yeah, it's caramel almost. So our people, they would harvest this, they would make a tea out of it, they would chew on it before battle. So we wanted to use it in a culinary sense.
Yeah.
And to have that in a dish, and this is where we're at now.
Jeez.
Wow.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
So you're pairing our dessert with another drink. Will you tell us about it?
Yes. So not very many people know, or some do, but you can use dandelion root and chicory root almost as a coffee substitute. So what we've done, as you see here, we've harvested all of the dandelion roots. We treat it almost as if we were roasting, coffee beans. We roast them till they're black. We steep it. There's a bit of hazelnut milk in there. And then we sweeten it slightly with maple syrup that's from Nawash, from the reserve that I'm from.
Describe this. Can you describe this, Jess?
Ooh, it tastes like a wonderful treat. It tastes, but it has a woodsy.
Yeah. It's almost like I don't know. The cooks say it almost like a cappuccino, like a nice, almost like that. Like you don't get that real dark bitterness from like you would coffee, but it almost has that same sort of flavor.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh, this
wow,
is good.
This has been completely mind-blowing.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Team Neglect. I appreciate it.
So different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And delicious. All right, check it out. Again, congratulations again to you and all the staff. That is so huge.
As any party goer knows, a simple question, what can I bring, can sometimes cause more stress than it should. But with summer entertaining season upon us, our next guest is here to take that pressure off of your plate.
All right, our next guest's brand new cookbook serves the ultimate guide for crowd-pleasing dishes that will make you the guest that everybody wants at their party. So please welcome the author of What Can I Bring? Recipes to help you live your best guest life, Casey Elsass. Welcome, Casey.
Good to have you here, Cal.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so listen, Casey, this is a big claim. You say this cookbook is going to earn us the title of most valuable party goer.
Yes.
How so?
I'll stand behind that.
Okay.
I think bringing something to a party is not a competition, but it also kind of is. So I wanted to give 75 of my best recipes that are going to win every time.
All right, we love that. All right, so let's get this party started. We're going to talk about a dip, which is a great
Yes.
appetizer to start any party with. Talk to us about this
So
one.
this is pico de Sandia. It's kind of like a pico de gallo, but it's watermelon instead of tomato.
Oh, no way.
So watermelon just has like a nicer texture, a sweeter flavor. It holds up better over time, but it gives you that nice like crunch that tomatoes get mushy, you know?
This is good. How do you make
Wow.
So it's peppers, onions, the watermelon, some lime juice, and then tahini adds a nice little zesty flavor to it.
this? I was a little worried about the watermelon, but it works.
Right,
it totally
yeah.
works. It's really good.
Thank
Quite
you.
nice. I've never had like watermelon alongside onions before. and
Yeah,
this is
right.
really
You
nice.
can push it savory and it's really refreshing.
Speaking of refreshing, you also say that a drink is a great
Yes.
way to impress your guests, and
Yes.
you have brought us drinks with cantaloupe.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really cool to show up to the party and have the signature cocktail. That's
Okay.
a great move. So this is a cantaloupe orange agua fresca, which can kind of swing in two directions. You can drink it as an agua fresca, or it can be the start of a dream mimosa, which
I
you
love
have
that.
right there.
I love that.
You've got the juice, you've got the champagne.
I have the alcohol.
Yes.
Smart man.
Yes, yes. And I'll be honest, first of all, I didn't realize that cantaloupe has pulp.
Yeah,
Is this
well,
just
there's
cantaloupe
orange juice too.
Oh, you
Orange
mix
juice.
it with
Yeah.
the orange juice as well.
Right.
It is very refreshing.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah, and you can strain it too if you want a smoother drink, but I like the texture.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
it's really
safely
nice.
say I've never drank cantaloupe before,
Yeah.
but I have
Right.
now. This is really, it's very
Yeah, they're
tasty.
a nice pair together.
All right, so let's talk about something very important. You say that an important part of being a guest is knowing what type of guest that you are. So
Yes.
how do we determine what type of guests we are?
So I say this in the beginning of the book. Be honest about what kind of guest you are. If you're always on time, bring appetizers.
Okay.
If you're reliably late, bring a drink. If you're coming by later, bring dessert. And if you bring nothing else, bring a present.
Okay, that's great advice.
okay.
I like that.
But I think what you contribute is important to the flow of the evening, and you don't want to derail it by showing up with the cheese plate an hour after the party started.
Good
Smart.
point.
All right, so
Yes.
let's move on to our next dish. Now, it looks like a quiche and it smells like a quiche, but you're saying that it's not a quiche.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quiche, but
It's a quiche. So what is it? Right? I'm like, what are you doing? So what do you call it?
I just like the word breakfast tart. I think that sounds a little
Sounds
fun.
nice.
fancier.
Yeah. So this is 3 different flavors. We've got a lox-inspired one, which you guys have.
Okay.
There's Lorraine and an asparagus one, but the real trick here is the base, which is made out of cheese crackers, which I think adds such a nice flavor instead of just a pie dough.
Oh my God, first of all, this is amazing. I think
very
breakfast
good.
tart is a great way to describe
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
And you also say, though, that the most thoughtful guests embrace room temperature food.
Yes.
Explain that.
Well, when you're showing up at someone's house, they're playing Tetris in the kitchen. So
Absolutely.
expecting fridge space or oven space is just going to throw them off.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of foods actually taste better at room temperature. I think things that have fats or acids, they just sing a little bit better when they've been sitting out for a bit.
Absolutely. All right. So another fantastic, very smart thing that you say is being a great guest isn't just about bringing the right thing. It's also about being the guest everybody wants to hang out with. So
Yes.
how do we become that person? What do we need to know?
I think a couple things will get you invited back for sure. Show up with everything you're going to need. Don't be
Okay.
asking your host for a bowl or a serving spoon.
advice.
That's your responsibility.
Yep.
But also say thank you. I think we forget a lot of the times that something as simple as a note the next day or even just a really thoughtful text will make them feel really seen and appreciated.
That's
Absolutely.
really nice. That's nice. Okay, so where are we going next? I think you're up.
Oh, next up we have a bagel salad. Talk to me about this, because I see a little bit of bagel, I see a little bit of fruit. Talk to us about this next
so
one.
this is a classic panzanella, but for me at least, my grocery store is not reliable with the crusty bread. So I grab bagels, which are great because they already have flavor baked in them. So it just adds more levels to it. Plus, they're nice and sturdy, so they hold up to the tomato juice really well.
All right, that's fantastic. I'm going to taste that in a minute, but I got to ask you this next question. We've all been there where we ask the host of the party, "What can I bring?" And they go, just bring a dessert, which sounds very simple, but then in your mind, you're like, this is not simple. Do I bring a cheesecake? Do I bring a flan? Do I bring fruit? Do I bring an ice cream cake? Where are we gonna put that? So what should we bring if we're asked to bring a dessert?
Well, I wrote 2 dessert chapters in my book for exactly this reason.
Love that.
But I think one thing about bringing something is it shows your host love and appreciation when you really put thought into the thing you bring. And I think dessert is an especially good place to be really thoughtful and maybe show off a little bit too.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, so you did more than just bring us a dessert because you brought a work of art. And this is what you call a mosaic Jell-O bundt.
Yes.
What is this?
This is arguably the dessert to bring. It's a mixture of a few different flavors of Jell-O, and then you just build it in a bundt pan with a sort of milk layer of Jell-O. It's got a nice fruity flavor.
Casey, I like it.
Every time I bring this is the thing everyone
Why can't I get it
talks
to
about.
my mouth yet? What is happening?
Just like, yeah, stab it.
I'm just
stab
going to
it.
the pipe.
Oh my God, it's good, right?
It's just, okay, but I have one more question. How do you create the shapes?
You just chop up the Jell-O. So you let it, each flavor set, and then cut it up into shapes. But even if you get little shards, it kind of adds to that mosaic. There's really no way to mess it up.
Well, this looks
it's
incredible.
a pretty
This is
foolproof recipe.
really lovely.
Thank you.
The kids will like it, the adults will like
Yeah,
it.
it's a great family project for sure.
Great family project, and you have prepared us for party season ahead, Casey. Thank you
Good stuff.
so much
Thank
for this.
you.
It's so good.
Arthur's Nosh Bar has become one of Montreal's most iconic brunch spots, attracting long lines of eager diners every single weekend.
Yeah, and lucky for us, we get to sample some of its delectable dishes without having to wait. So please welcome husband and wife team behind the restaurant and its new cookbook, Arthur's, home of the Nosh, Reagan Steinberg and Alex Cohen. Good to have you guys here. So first of all, congratulations on the book. And I understand Arthur's was named after your late father. So talk to me about his legacy.
Well, it was really important for me to build something to honor him, and my husband had this amazing idea to name the restaurant after Arthur's, Arthur, and we just have this amazing homage to him every single day, and I feel really lucky about that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it is a really lovely tribute to your father. And you've spoken about the role of generational food shaping your menu. So talk a little bit more about that.
Well, we found that we didn't want to change Jewish food. You can't really change traditions, but we wanted to find a way to incorporate new way of cooking those things, but where you still taste that memory, still have that tradition from your family that kind of links that nostalgia feeling. Because I find that when you walk into a place and as you're eating, you start getting that connection to your memories, or your mother's, or your father's, or yours as well, you end up feeling a little more comfortable, a little more at ease, which makes you a little more, happy, enjoy it. And then when you leave with a memory of that as well.
I love that.
Fantastic. Well, there's a quote in the book that I want to read out loud because if you're not tempted by what you see, this quote's definitely going to get you. It says, "If these pancakes were on a talk show, the host would introduce them with our guest today needs no introduction."
That's my wife's line.
All right. So while we dig in, talk to us about these pancakes.
Okay, so these are our Sireniki pancakes, and Alex developed this recipe after a lot of trial and error based on a Eastern European style pancake made with farmer's cheese. So we did it our own way with cottage cheese and leavened egg whites and a bunch of other delicious
Listen, my
ingredients.
wife is giving me a lot of credit here, but she literally handed me a book with notes, and she told me, just follow this, and you'll be fine. So I just did exactly what she told me to
Good
do.
husband.
He's well
very
trained,
good husband.
well
I like that.
trained,
Yes,
yes,
listen.
Very, very well.
But it's so good.
It's
Oh my
delicious.
gosh.
All right, so you guys opened up your restaurant back in 2016, and it seemed like it took off right away. Bon Appetit, Goop, Rachel Ray was also talking about it, and you guys did all of this without any marketing. So what was your secret to the success?
I think it was a combination of luck, hard work, and location. And Instagram had just kind of started to take off. And I was a little bit unhinged behind the camera and just showing the real life of the day-to-day life of building a restaurant. And people gravitated towards it. And of course, the food spoke for itself. So
It also looks gorgeous, and you
Thank
guys look
you.
gorgeous. That didn't probably help. So let's move on to the next dish. So Alex, tell us about this stunning Moroccan toast.
Okay, well, this Moroccan toast didn't always look like this.
Okay.
Okay, at first, it was the first iteration. My wife is always very, when Alex, just serve it, it's fine, they're gonna love it, don't worry. And I'm not throwing it plus. And then I'm the one type of person where it's like, no, it needs more attention, it needs needs more detail, it needs more ingredients, more flavor.
More.
More. So this Moroccan toast is basically a thick cut challah French toast that we toast on both sides with butter and salt. Then we make a Moroccan style eggplant dip. So instead of it just being a side dip, it becomes a spread with some spicy mayonnaise made with harissa.
It's got some kick.
Got a bit of kick.
It's got harissa.
Yeah, harissa, exactly. You have some trina, you have a cucumber salad, whichever version you want to call it. It's there. Chickpeas, fresh herbs, poached eggs, and lemon, and we even make a special oil with it. So there's all these components that go into the dish.
I'm ready to dive in, but first I gotta ask you this question first. I gotta do my job first.
I'm in.
So Montreal has a very vibrant food scene, and it's evolved since you guys opened up your restaurant about a decade ago. Talk to us about that, and I'm diving in right now.
Go. I'll let my wife handle this.
I was just saying to our colleagues that the food scene in the past 5 years has really expanded, and we have this amazing roster of chefs, and we all kind of come from these houses, I would call it, these like amazing restaurants that have been around for 20 years, and now all the chefs are coming into their own and creating these amazing new restaurants, and it's like, it's really,
Montreal's really
we're
good at
lucky.
keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, because there's always something new and fresh and amazing.
So my wife always says it, we have to keep up with the pace.
Gotcha.
But I find it sometimes a little bit difficult because you still want to stay true to what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can't change too much, but you still have to evolve.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good.
But it's also important to go with the classics too.
Yeah.
And so you have a
course.
classic Jewish comfort food that is matzo ball soup.
Yes.
What are the keys in perfecting this particular dish?
Well, I find that one thing people get wrong.
Okay.
What did I do? I'm already telling you what people get
We're all
wrong.
looking like, what did you get
Like,
wrong,
what did you do
husband?
wrong? Is that a lot of times people cook their soup for way too long or way too short. I found the sweet spot is 4.5 hours because anything longer than 4 to 5 hours, you're making a stock. You're making anything shorter, you're making a broth. Okay. A soup really should be something where the flavor is really concentrated in the chicken. So we like to use chicken feet.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
Chicken wings.
Chicken wings is a good replacement because of the collagen in there. It really thickens the broth really nicely and gives you that comfort,
Umami.
that warmth, that umami flavor.
There's dill in this.
Yes,
Yeah.
we use a lot
We
of
love
dill,
dill.
and we use a lot of parsley, and sorry, not parsley, dill and chives. And then in the soup, to sweeten it up, we have green apple.
In the broth.
And cabbage in the broth that we cook in the broth.
Oh my
And then the matzo ball, a lot of times you'll find recipes that call for oil. Terrible vegetable oil, right? The evil vegetable oil, as everyone says. We use schmaltz. So schmaltz is basically rendered chicken fat with onions and chicken skin.
And they call it liquid gold, I
Liquid
understand?
gold, exactly.
Okay.
So we add that in the matzo ball to fluff it up and as well in the soup. And our balls are floaters, not sinkers. There are two types of people in this world.
Important.
We do not mix
You can't
both.
walk eye with me and say that.
I'm just saying.
You can't walk eye with me and say that, all
I
right?
can't stop looking at your eyes.
Okay, so you two have two small children.
Yeah.
How in the world? Okay, so like kids can be really annoying when it comes to food. Look at how adorable these are. Give some
Obviously,
tips.
my Superman pose.
What are some tips on making sure that your kids don't end up being annoying picky eaters?
Well, my daughter has always been very easy.
Yeah,
she
she's
loves
adventurous.
oysters, crab. She'll
Yeah.
try
Nice.
squid ink pasta.
Yeah,
She
she's
wants
a
to
good
eat
eater.
everything.
Good.
My son, as I said before, is on the white diet with a little bit of meat. So basically, pasta, pizza,
Beige diet.
chicken
the beige,
nuggets.
yeah,
the
that's
beige
what it's
diet.
called, the
Sorry, not
beige
white.
diet,
Sorry.
yeah. No, but I think we just try to expose them to as much as possible, and hopefully something, takes.
Comes.
Well,
Exactly.
this I feel like would be an easy sell. These gorgeous sprinkle cookies that
Yeah.
you've got here. So tell us about them.
So we have two types of cookies. We have one that is a larger with cream cheese icing,
Okay.
and then we have these that are more compact, easy, on the go kind of snack. But I have to give credit where credit's due. One of our very good friends, Nadia Pisatoro, who helped us, who's a pastry
He's a huge
chef.
fan of the social.
Huge fan. Made sure that I mention her name on this show, okay? Specifically, Nadia. And she literally helped us like 80 to 90% of the
Yeah,
recipes
so it's
in
a
this
take
book.
on a deli classic, like a
But
sprinkle cookie.
Mexican wedding
But
dish.
yeah, we derived the inspiration from a Mexican wedding cookie.
It is so
It's so good.
Thank you guys.
You guys are amazing.
Honest
Thank you so
God.
much for stopping by and bringing your delicious food. We're honored to have you guys.
Thank you.
Our next guest has written a love letter to her home country, Nigeria, through her exploration and creation of recipes and ingredients.
Yeah, and here to talk to us about her new cookbook, Chop Chop. Please welcome Azaz Soko to the show. Good to have you here, my dear.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show. We are going to get to food, but in fact, we're actually going to begin with a drink that you say is only made in Nigeria. So we want you to explain what the Chapman is in terms of the significance, and then guide us through how to make it.
Okay, Chapman is a uniquely Nigerian drink made in a dimpled beer mug, and it was first created in the 60s by Sam Alamutu, a bartender, for his wife. I think a little bit of romance and drinks go very well together. But he created it for his wife because she didn't like alcoholic drinks, and it is refreshing. It's one of those coming-of-age drinks, but let's make it, and I'll tell you more.
Okay, so we start with ice, or what do we start with?
We start with Ribena, which is a blackcurrant cordial.
Got it.
It goes in the glass.
Okay. I love
all
these
of
glasses.
it.
Okay.
And then we have lemon and lime soda. Just a touch. Just a little touch. This drink is kind of coming-of-age drink.
I did something wrong already.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. They're interchangeable, yes.
Okay.
And
want some of this
yours?
one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You
Mix
have that
both?
one?
Mix both?
Mix both.
Okay, got it.
So lemon and lime soda and orange soda go in the glass with
gotcha.
the
Okay.
blackcurrant cordial.
Okay.
And then we add some bitters next.
Okay.
And the bitters are like 44% alcohol, and you don't have to add them.
I will not add that to
I'm
yours.
not to me, not to me.
How many drops do I go in there?
3 or 4 drops.
One,
Give me
drops.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Give me 5.
Right?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And then you add a bit of lemon and lime juice, just a splash.
Okay.
And the thing about this drink is...
Your bartender days are coming back.
Thank you. It's one of those things that we kind of had when we were going from teenagehood to young adult.
Oh, I love
Kind
that.
of like a Shirley Temple.
Yes.
And then we have ice.
Can we throw in just like some ice?
3 or
pieces?
4.
I like that you're
Thank you,
still playing
Cynthia.
bartender.
Cynthia's doing everything, actually.
We're gonna just
We
kinda
love
mix
this.
Do I have to
together.
tip you afterwards?
Okay, yeah, you might have to.
It's okay.
Live television, guys. Live television. We gotta
All
keep
good.
things moving. I want to try this. We're gonna stir it
And
up.
then we finish off with slices of lemon and lice and cucumber.
Okay.
And
We're gonna do this.
Yes,
Okay,
Go
yes,
there.
we do that.
There we go.
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw that into there. Here we go.
And
Thank
it's
you.
funny because the cucumbers really come through, and it makes it quite a refreshing drink. Even though it's soda, it's really, really good.
Love it.
Ooh,
It's nice, right?
love this. That's
We're
a
gonna
great
head over to
start.
the center stage where you have this amazing spread set up for us. We're super excited.
Oh my
because these are all
goodness, we love this.
From
This
recipes
looks
from your book,
good.
Yes.
Chop Chop. So let's, yeah.
Let's dive in.
Everything here looks amazing, smells amazing. So talk to us about what's in, what you brought for us, and let's dig in.
So these are 3 classic Nigerian recipes. We start with jollof rice,
Oh.
akara, and pepper soup.
Okay, quick question. Who has a better jollof rice, Nigerians or Ghanaians?
Oh, why is that even a question?
I'm going to get busy today, I'm sorry.
I think every country's jollof rice has its merits, but obviously Nigerian jollof rice is like up there. But what I love about it is that it's very, very accessible, but also you have this one-pot dish made with a seasoned base of tomatoes, curry powder, dried thyme. It's cooked down, really develops flavor, and then you add the rice, and you just let it steam. And you'll find it at every Nigerian party, holidays, Christmas, even weekdays, but for me, it was such a signpost of celebration during the holidays.
It is
delicious.
so delicious. Before we get to the next dish, I want to ask you, like, you're a professional, you've created this professional empire through gastronomy, but your first job was actually as a geologist.
Yeah.
How does one make this change? What happened?
So I spent 20 years as a geologist, exploring and living around the world, but didn't really enjoy it because most of the projects I worked on were really long-term. And what ended up happening was that I couldn't really see the results of the work that I would do.
Okay.
Unlike with cooking, like you go into the kitchen, you make something, even if it takes a week to ferment or whatever, you know that there's an end period, and you get to taste and you get to tweak. And so I decided to kind of make a gradual career shift from geology to gastronomy, but still taking all of the skills that I learned, being able to conceptualize, explore, document.
It's working because my rice is all gone.
I can hear that click over there. I was like, like someone is enjoying that jollof rice.
Very much so.
All right.
So have you had any other jollof rice in the past?
No, this is my
good.
first.
All right.
And the only one you ever need to
All right,
try.
so the Nigerian. Okay, I love that. All right, so you say this next dish has your defining moment with food and one that you're most excited to make and eat. Why is that?
So that's akara. It's a fritter made from black-eyed beans or cowpeas. And in 2009, I first discovered that it existed outside of Nigeria. Up till that point, I knew it only as a Nigerian dish. But due to the transatlantic enslavement of Africans, in Brazil and across the Black Atlantic, it's very popular. And each country has their own version. So for me, it kind of signified that point where I went from food as sustenance to food as more than eating, food as connection, food as, this global connection and thread with people from other cultures and cuisine.
Okay, so I want to clarify, what is akara and what else can you make with it?
Okay, so akara, it's basically a batter of beans. Think of falafel, but instead with black-eyed peas or cowpeas. And you can do so many breakfast items. I've used it in so many ways. I make pancakes with it. I make waffles. And I do like French toast style dishes with it. I've even made Scotch eggs. So the akara batter, is kind of like the covering for the
that's
the
so
eggs.
fun because it is a very neutral batter, so you could play with all kinds of different flavors.
Yep.
Chop, I think in North America it sort of means like get going, get on with it. But I've heard that chop in your culture means something, it's very special. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So the word chop in Nigeria is all about food and feasting. And chop can be used as a noun or a verb. As a noun, it means someone who loves food, someone who's really interested in gastronomic delights, and sometimes, on the edge of overeating. But for me, it's like this celebration, real enjoyment of food, of culture, and cuisine.
That's beautiful. All right, so next up you have this Nigerian drinking soup that you say is also good when you're not feeling well. Talk to us about this one.
Think chicken noodle soup, but the Nigerian version. So Nigerian pepper soup is this spiced broth that's full of really aromatic and herby flavors.
Yes.
You have lemongrass, you have lime leaves, but you also have a blend of indigenous spices. And we basically have it everywhere. Parties, for dinner, but especially when you're not feeling well. So recovering from the flu, just giving birth, everything and anything. It's the heal all, one all.
It's so good. It's got like it's got a little bit of kick to it, a tiny bit to it too. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
Just
glad.
like your book, Chop.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Phenomenal food. Phenomenal.
The south of France is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and our next guest's new cookbook paints a stunning scene of its charms, open-air markets bursting with sun-ripened produce, acres of olive trees, and cliffs that drop into salt-heavy turquoise coves.
Oh my gosh, bring me there.
I know.
That is beautiful. Well, she has written for the New York Times, Vanity Fair, and today she is here with her third cookbook, Le Sud, recipes from Provence, Alpes, and Côte d'Azur. Please welcome to the show, Rebecca Pepler.
Oh, Rebecca, we're so happy to have you here. And like just flipping through the book is like going on a trip. It is so absolutely gorgeous and lush, and it really highlights the beauty of the south of France. Tell us about the actual inspiration behind it.
Absolutely. So I'm American. I live in Paris, and I started going to the south of France the second I moved to France, basically. And I really wanted to capture the beauty of the south of France in the book, so I'm happy that that caught on through the recipes, through the writing, but also through the imagery. Yes.
All right, so as you just mentioned, you're an American writer who's living in France. How did you land this plum job? How did you end up doing this in Paris?
Yes, so I'm from Wisconsin originally. I studied journalism at university, and I always wanted to write about food. I moved to New York. I went to pastry school. And then I actually worked as a food stylist for many years in New York City, but I wanted to get back to writing. And so the move to Paris kind of coincided with that want to kind of get back into something that really spoke to my soul. So I was splitting time between New York and Paris, and then Paris
sounds like a
took
hard
me in
life.
full time.
Okay, well, you are taking us in with this spread. So you have got recipes all inspired by the south of France. So we're going to start with a dip. So let's begin there. And what is it?
Yes, so we have 2 dips. We have an anchoade, which is with anchovies, and then we have a poivronade, which is with red peppers. And then you have crudité.
Everybody's like,
I like that.
It's really good.
Oh my God.
You
Okay,
can
so
have it
while we're
chips,
trying this,
crudité.
what are some of the tips that you would have for Canadians who are trying to bring some French hospitality to their dining table?
Yeah, I think the first thing to do is to start with recipes, right? All of the recipes, like you mentioned, are inspired by the south of France, by Le Sud, and they inherently are going to bring that kind of south of French energy right to your table.
This is beautiful.
This is so
Thank
gorgeous.
you, and super easy too.
All right, so our next dish is made with pastis. For those people who've never heard of pastis before, what exactly is it?
So pastis is a liqueur. It's going to have a bit of an anisey flavor, a licorice flavor to it. And you often drink it in the south of France, in Marseille, sitting by the water. You know, you see people with these tall glasses of kind of a cloudy beverage. That's going to be your pastis. It's meant to kind of like let you linger by the seaside in the summer and cool you down as you're kind of roasting in that heat.
Beautiful. All right, and you made this chicken dish with the pastis, so tell us about it.
Yes, so pastis is not normally made into a savory dish, right? But I love that anisey, that fennel flavor to it.
That is good.
Right?
That is good.
Because I think for even people who wouldn't think that they would like those tones, it's transformed here.
It's transformed. It's meant to kind of like infuse it with kind of the essence of that, but not be over kind of come with it. And when you roast fennel, you get kind of this like really sweet caramelized flavor to it. And that kind of adds to the dish and kind of brings it all together.
This is beautiful. We need some taste of vision right now. That is really
So
beautiful.
gorgeous.
You're
Thank
serving
you.
your chicken with les carottes rosées. So how did you make yours?
So carrot râpé is a really classic French salad. And it's like you can find it kind of at any store or kind of like any lunchtime gathering spot. And that's finely grated carrots with a pretty traditional vinaigrette. This one is with rosé wine added to it. And so you get I warm it up a little bit and it kind of like flash cooks the carrots almost, so you're not getting that raw carrot flavor. But so it's gonna be a little sweeter, it's gonna be bright, it's gonna be vibrant. It kind of brings that flavor of Provence into your carrot.
So you're just doing this in a frying pan? Like you do the mandolin, probably get your thin slices?
So this one, actually, you can just use a vegetable peeler and like save your thumbs. Mandolins scare me. And then actually you put it all in a bowl and you warm up the rosé kind of liquid. It's with a little bit of vinegar in there, and then you pour it on top. So you're actually not doing any cooking. You don't have to get out of the skillet.
Fascinating. Okay, so Le Sud is clearly a special place, but you actually say it was so special to you, you actually felt like you were reborn there. That is incredible. I think we're being reborn right now. So tell us about your experience.
That's very kind. So it means a lot of things, but one of the kind of reasoning behind using that pretty strong term is during COVID, I got sick in March 2020 with COVID, and I was living in Paris. I was by myself. And then I was very, very, very ill, and then I just didn't get better. And so I spent months in bed. My doctors didn't know what was going on. All my tests came back normal. They told me I was, anxious, et cetera. And I was really, I was in kind of my best health right before I got sick, and then I was very, very sick. And so I realized that I was going to have to kind of heal myself. And I asked myself, what's the thing that helps me heal? And it's the water, being by the sea. And so I went to the south of France for a month, actually at the place that was just on the screen, in La Ciotat, and spent a month sitting by salt water, resting, and slowly starting to heal. Yes, it was.
Great prescription.
Yeah. It's like a low point in life, but a high point for the book and for now.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. So we're ending our French feast with a gorgeous dessert. Tell us the story behind this tarte au citron.
Perfect. Yes. So yes, please. This is one of my favorite recipes in the book. So Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur is a huge region. You think of it as kind of just like one kind of part, but it actually extends all the way from Italy, on the border of Italy and France, all the way through to the Camargue region.
Oh my God.
And this particular recipe
So good.
comes from Menton, which is the kind of end of the line right before you get to Italy, and it's also where all the citrus is produced in France. And here we are. There's preserved lemon in the crust, and then there is lemon juice in the filling, and it's supposed to be tart, not too sweet.
Oh, it's perfect.
incredible.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So talk to us about preserving the lemons. Why is that step worth doing?
So preserving lemons is actually like a really lovely way to kind of extend the shelf life of your lemons, actually. So all you're gonna do is basically like cut them into quarters and add a bunch of salt into a jar, and over time they'll preserve. And what I use them for is all different things. You could probably actually put them in the fennel in this chicken, it would be phenomenal. But in this recipe itself, it's actually in the crust. So you're getting those like pops of like kind of salty, sour, flavor bombs that kind of add that layer of lemon flavor into the dish in different kind of unexpected ways.
So gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, that is brilliant. Well, we have been transported, Rebecca, and we appreciate you very, very much for it. Thank you so much for sharing.